All right, welcome back to another video. And today we'll be doing the refresh and repose of Wolverine from the Hono Studios, which is a part of Hot Toys. It's quote unquote their entry level figures, but to me, this figure looks really wonderful. It's one of my favorites that I've acquired so far. It's so comic book accurate and true to the show. The 92 series and even the X-Men 97, which they did a really good job on, to be honest. So while it is their entry level, to me, this figure is wonderful. It doesn't come with a lot, but I think for what you get, it's really cool. Um, so yeah, we'll be doing some poses, and as we pose, the figure will try to figure out what the final pose is going to be to refresh it. Currently, the way that you see it is how I've had it for since I had it. I pose it this way and I pretty much left it. uh the stand it comes with is kind of awful. it's really it's really not very reliable. It's just this little thing. There is a diorama piece, kind of like a comic book thing that comes over here that I'll show. Does take up a lot of space, but I think with this figure, I'm gonna try to find a pose that where I won't need the stand, since you can't really even do anything dynamic with it, since it's just that. So you can't do any leaping poses, or you can't do anything overly too dynamic. So it'll be a lot of it will be like more menacing or striking poses. So let's open the box and then so we can show what the accessories it comes with. This box is actually pretty neat. I like the art on it, and that's the front. It's kind of cool the way you open it. So let's move this figure aside. Stand. So this thing folds that way, folds upwards, and then there's, you see the Hono Studios kind of deal. Let's open it up. So one of the things that I like about this figure is that instruction sheet you get. You don't even get a sheet. You get this cardboard thing that shows you what you can do, articulation, stuff like that. Some people might not like it. I kind of dig it. It's for something like this. It's really cool. I mean, the manual that Hot Toys usually gives you is so tiny and flimsy. Like this one's to me is actually even better quality than the little tiny booklet. So I have no problem with this at all. I really dig it. And yes, if you can hear that in the background, I do have episodes of X-Men the Animated Series playing, because why not? So now I remember why I don't want to do the diorama piece. Because it actually involves cutting that out, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ruin the box. I wish it was a separate piece, but I guess that's what you get for quote unquote entry level. But I am not cutting that. So what you can do is you can cut that out, put it on here, this little plastic thing, and then put it in the backdrop. But we're not going to be doing that because I don't like ruining boxes. So we'll set the box aside. clear some space, and we'll open up the tray, show what he comes with. Really limited, not a lot of accessories, and they're actually releasing the maskless, cowless figure, which stinks. That's something that should have come with in one figure. They should have just sold it as a set, the cowless figure, but I guess, being entry level. So you got these two hands. You get two face plates. There's one. And there's two with a little bit of teeth showing. And the third one is up there already on the figure. The angry one. And then beyond that, you get, I actually haven't even opened it, but see if we can capture the detail. And yeah, you can see that the effect pieces, I just don't think they're completely necessary. They may look cool, but I really don't want to cover up the claws. And that's it. That is all you get with the figure. At the very least, I wish what it came with was the maskless head sculpt. And it would have been nice if these claws were removable and placed on these ones. But I guess, for the most part, Wolverine always has a fist when he has his claws out. So I guess that makes sense in that regard. And as far as faceplates, Wolverine's just an angry guy. So this will be good for like a museum pose, no claws. And this one will be like, I see this as more of like a pre-fight taunting type of deal. So as far as the refresh is concerned for this figure, it's pretty much limited to what you see here already. So now we're just gonna do some poses, and see if we can come up with a pose without the base. No, the effects are okay, and I guess it'll at least show like he's striking upward, and they're mostly upward, so it's going to be like an upwards or forward striking motion. But I think we're going to be leaving those out. So yeah, you don't get much for this figure, but for what you get, I think it is enough, since it is pretty much, what it sets out to do is portray the comic book character. So before we do the posing, let's examine the body a little bit. The arms are really well done, nice and soft, very articulated. This one's actually articulated with the shoulders. His height is accurate. He is pretty short. Like, I think he's like 5'3" or 5'5" in the comics. And you can see like little hair painting on the side. Here's the back. So, all right, let's strike a pose. All right, so this one we have that pretty much a classic pose. And every time he takes out his claws, he does that kind of cross pattern. Uh, this one's not bad. Covering his face a little bit, but I mean, this is such a classic pose. This one's not bad. My worry is, I think we're going to be using the base for whatever pose we decide, unless it's without the claws. I worry that if this figure accidentally falls over, I do live in an earthquake area. I don't want the claws to get damaged, and I think they are susceptible to maybe popping off, and you'll need to super glue them back on. But this is him without a stand. And what's pretty cool about this is when you bend his arm, yeah, it looks a little funky here, but if you do it just a little bit like that, it actually looks like he's flexing his bicep, which is pretty neat. I dig that a lot. And you got some decent vein work right there sculpted on. So that's really cool. Same on the other side. So like if you just do it just enough, you see that he looks like there's a little flex on the bicep. So compare that to an articulated bicep versus non-articulated one. So you see the bicep just does decrease a little bit, and then when you pose it up, so there's a little flex there. So it's really cool. Same with the tricep actually. So you see a little more definition when it's fully extended. So now let's go ahead and try another pose. And here we have another pose. One arm extended, one closer to the face. So ready to fight. He's in a fighting stance. So from the front, pretty decent, but you do miss some of the articulation and the posing. So like when you do it from, yeah, that's not bad. It stood up. So you kind of see pretty sturdy. Maybe change so not much. You can't do much with the head except turn it, so you can't really tilt it one way or another. So maybe just a slight turn, maybe like he's about to stab someone in the gut. That's pretty cool. It's not bad. From this angle though, I don't like the tilt, so maybe this way. Yeah. So that one's not bad either. But certainly I think I want to try another one. It's really too bad you can't do like a leaping pose, which is Wolverine's really known for, where he just jumps at the enemy, claws out. Yeah, that'd be cool. So maybe I'll have to get a flight stand for him, but so for now we're just gonna have to make do with what we have. Let's go ahead and try another pose. So this pose, I think it'll look better if you do the one without the claws. The idea behind this one is that line that he loves to say in the show as he walks away, where he says, "I go where I want to go," and he always walks away looking back. So maybe we turn his head a little more. So you can see some of that face sculpt. Yeah. So this one would look cool without the claws. And unfortunately, this one would look even better if you had the one without the cowl on. So maybe this pose will be reserved for that other figure. Um, I haven't decided if I'm going to get it or not because I usually like to have just one version of each character. Although, while I am getting the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah, I haven't decided yet. I also might get the brown one because the brown one does come with a katana. That this one didn't come with, which that's fair. Um, you didn't really see this version, Tiger Stripe Wolverine wield a katana in the show. But let's go ahead and try another pose. So this one, also another one of his famous poses. Not too bad. Fairly decent. It's too bad that we can't do like I guess with a stand, maybe we can do a charging pose because Wolverine likes to charge with his arms in the back, kind of like almost like a Naruto, but obviously a little lower. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know what how else to describe it. I know Naruto and Wolverine. That's like really bad comparison, but yeah, I kind of don't like. I like the arm, but not the body articulation. Let's see if we can try to fix that. Um, so maybe so now it's having a harder time standing on his own. So maybe this way, yeah. But definitely, if we're gonna do this kind of pose, we're gonna need to stand. There we go. He's uneven. There we go. Charging pose. Center him a little bit. There we go. So the top torso, maybe is a little. The stand is really rough to work with. There we go. Uh yeah, a little more dynamic. Might go with this one. Wolverine's known for charging his animalistic rage. I might go with this one or with the claws covering his face like the other one. It really is too bad. Like that, all three claws have to be out at the same time. He can't do the where he maybe just shows one or two or three, but I guess maybe that's a movie thing. Man, this one's not bad. I really, like I said, I wish we could have a better stand so he can do a little more, be a little more dynamic. I'm hoping Magneto comes with a flight stand because that'll be a sin if he doesn't. And speaking of Magneto, I'm really excited to get that figure. That and the Black Suit Spider-Man by Hono Studios. They just look so good, very comicky. Uh, but yeah, this one's decent. Yeah, not much posability on this guy outside the standard stuff that you've seen here. Too bad, the other gripping hand. I think it'll look really neat with the claws out. But yeah, let's maybe do one more and then call it a night. And just for the last one, just your generic intimidation pose or about to fight pose. Yeah, I think I'll probably be going with the one before this, or maybe this one. Not much really you can do with this figure, articulation wise, pose wise, or anything like that. Just because there's not much accessories you can do. A lot of the changes will be in the faceplate, and I don't know, displaying Wolverine without a claws out is, I don't know, not something I want to do. So probably just gonna go back to maybe that, a little lean. Yeah. So this is gonna be the pose I'll be going with. Action pose for sure. Turn the head, get a little more of that face. Yeah, I think that's it. This is the one. That's what makes the most sense for Wolvie, our favorite Canadian. Which, maybe, yeah, maybe a little better. Maybe if we turn this one, yeah, that's not bad either. So one of those two. If I had to rate the figure, the look is a 10 out of 10. I love the portrayal. I love which version they're showing. Accessories, it's a 5. You really don't get much with it. Fun factor, unfortunately, since you don't even get a flight stand and very limited on what you can do. Maybe a 7. It's one of those things that you set it and then you might be content with just leaving it in that pose forever. Yeah, there's a reason why probably with whatever pose I ended up leaving him here. No, that's not bad. That might be his forever pose. I do recommend, if you're going to display him with the claws out, use the stand. You don't want him to fall, and if he lands in the claws, nothing's done. Your figure's gonna lose its character pretty much. So while I do like this pose, I probably won't be able to keep him that way just because, well, maybe unless I turn the stand this way, then yeah, that's gonna be tough to do though. Okay, there you go. There you go. So that might be the pose we leave him in. I think that's it. Just because I really don't want to risk breaking the figure, so it's not so dynamic, but it's not so boring either. If you're a fan of the character, I recommend it. If you're a fan of the show, the animated series, I recommend it. Uh, at the end of the day, this is the version. When I think of Wolverine, this is the version I think of. So I do prefer this over any of the MCU one. There's only one, but this is the version I prefer. This is the version I think of. I'm in no way I'm saying that those MMS figures are inferior to this. Obviously, those are higher quality. But if I had to choose only one Wolverine, this would be the one for me, just because I am a fan of this version. So Hope you enjoyed the video. If you any of the poses you saw, let me know which one you think that I should go with. But for now, I'm gonna leave him with this one. Uh, Coming up next is either comic book Spider-Man or Punisher from the Netflix. They're kind of one's in front of the other, so they're next in sequence. I just haven't decided which one. Most likely Spider-Man, just because Punisher and Daredevil should go hand in hand, either in the same video or one after another. If I do the same video, that'll be a really long one. But yeah, let me know which ones you guys liked. Hope you enjoyed this video, the posing and of this character. And if you had any questions or you were on the fence about picking it up, then hopefully I addressed that for you. All right, have a good one.